Ugh. Why do I look awfully close to the camera? Don't we look a little closer? Are we a little closer than we usually are?
We might be, actually. I think you usually have it, like, back a little.
I know. Is it a problem, though?
No.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Gen D podcast. We're your hosts.
Tyler and Alyssa.
Yeah. Let's welcome back Alyssa.
Yay!
Yay!
This is our off-topic topic where we talk about things off-topic. And the first thing on our agenda is, why has Alyssa been gone for 2 weeks? 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I've been gone for 3 weeks.
I am so happy she's back. I'm so excited.
So this was definitely not planned. The first week, I started a new job, a second job. I work 2 jobs now. Anyways, no, love it. It's fine. And my schedule, like my first week schedule, was so like it was weird. So I didn't end up coming in on that Thursday, and then the next Thursday, it was my first official day, like on the floor and everything, like, or I'm not watching like training videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I worked that morning, and I got off at like, oh man, I don't know, 1 p.m.
Gross.
And and they had so one thing about me, I've been having gallbladder issues since like December.
Yeah.
And it at first it was fairly manageable. And then it got to the point where I literally I couldn't eat anything that wasn't like grilled chicken, broccoli, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't eat anything outside of like the bare necessities, you know what I mean? And then it got to the point where I couldn't eat anything.
You were just like, like the day that you came over, the last podcast that you did, you came over and you're just like, I haven't been able to keep anything down.
Yeah.
And I was like, that does not sound
like it wasn't just vomiting. Like it's so, for those of you who don't know, your gallbladder is like, it's a bile duct.
Yeah.
So it helps break down fatty foods.
Yeah.
And when your gallbladder goes bad, or it's inflamed, or you have gallstones, gallstones block the bile duct.
Yeah.
And so it causes, like, when it tries to break down food, it causes severe abdominal pain for like, or if it's inflamed or whatever, it causes severe abdominal pain, which the best way I can explain it is like cramps times 10. Like the worst cramp you could have. And I know you don't know what this feels like.
I don't, and I don't want to know.
But it's like, and it goes up into your shoulder, and it lasts for 5 hours, and of just straight pain, nausea, vomiting, that kind of thing. Now, I've been able to manage the gallbladder attacks. That's what they're called. I've been able to manage it over the last 6 months or so, 5 months, I don't know, since December. But it's like progressively gotten worse. Yeah. And they would last longer. And it didn't really matter what I was eating anymore, even though it was like bare necessities. And it got to the point where I had to eat chicken broth and that was it. And it sucked. It sucked. So it was just awful. It was an awful experience. I knew that I was eventually going to have to get my gallbladder taken out. The problem is I don't have health insurance.
Yeah.
So when I started this second job, I was like, cool. In a month or 2, I'm going to be able to get this. Yeah, I'm going to be able to get this gallbladder taken out, and I can just, starve until then. But if it got worse, like really, really bad, I would be taking like nausea medicine and pain medicine. And then the pain medicine, so LJ, my boyfriend, he has been like experiencing these gallbladder attacks with me.
Yeah.
And like he would wake up in the middle of the night, and like because he heard the shower running, because I would just sit in the shower and I would have like the water turned up like all the way, and I'd have it on my stomach because it like on heat, and it would help just a little bit. And then also if I'm throwing up, like, the trash can's right there, and usually I'm throwing up. So he'd either hear me throw up or hear the shower, and he'd be like, all right, and then he'd go in there and he'd give me nausea medicine, and if it got too bad, pain medicine, and he just like, like rub my back and help me out and stuff. And there were times where like I would go, like I'd get out of the shower after taking pain medicine, and he's like, it's gonna kick in any minute. It's gonna kick in any minute. You know what I mean?
He's trying to
And
get your own.
he is.
Like you're gonna manifest.
And I'm not talking about ibuprofen. Like he got I got pain medicine because that's what you need.
Yeah.
With a gallbladder, ibuprofen isn't gonna cut it.
Not at all.
And he was like, and so he's like, it's gonna kick in, and I would like whimper and cry myself to sleep until the pain medicine kicked in, and I would just fall asleep because it wore me out so much.
Yeah.
And like it was a really bad experience. I do not recommend gallbladders. Just get it out. Just get it out now because that shit sucks. But I knew that it was my gallbladder. My dad had gallbladder surgery, and he was like, those are the symptoms. And I was like, God, okay. That day, like I said, I got off of work. I had sushi.
That was a terrible decision there.
Sushi is healthy.
It's healthy, but where did you get it from?
Kroger.
Did you get it already pre-made?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, I shouldn't have eaten the sushi, but I was starving.
I'm sorry.
And then, like, I get home, I'm eating my sushi, having a good time. And then I went to me and LJ went to my dad's, and we were hanging out with my dad for a minute. On the way to my dad's, it was, like, creeping up on me. A gallbladder attack was. And when we got to my dad's, I told LJ, I was like, I think I'm going to have a gallbladder attack. And he was like, oh no.
Not again.
So we're all like chilling on the porch because, you know, my dad has one of those houses where you can just chill on the porch and it's like, it's a nice time.
Yeah.
And he's like keeping his eye on me, right? He's like making sure I'm okay. And throughout the visit, I'm progressively getting worse. And like, I'm like squatting down on the floor.
Oh.
And then like, you know, cause you know, my different positions help, you know. Mm-hmm. Not well, but they do. And then I would like stand up for a minute and then I'd get back down and he would look at me. He looked at me and he went, it's time to go. We got to go. He was like, we need to get you home.
Time to go relax.
You're about to not be feeling good.
Yeah.
And on the way home, and it's like an hour, almost an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour. And we had to stop off at Walmart and everything. We're on our way home and like, I am just it's progressed. It's gotten so bad at this point that when we finally pull into Walmart, I am like hunched over and like whimpering and crying and shit. And it is just so bad. It felt awful. Like I do not recommend. And so he gives me like, he goes into Walmart and he gets like he buys something. So he gets me a grocery bag so I don't throw up in his car. And he was like, if you throw up on the mat. Like you can throw up in here.
Just throw
he was
up
like,
on the mat.
You can throw up in here, but throw up on the mat. And I'm like, I don't want to throw up in here. He gets out of Walmart. We're driving home. It's like 15 minutes away. We're almost there. I am turned around in the seat. So I'm like halfway in the back, like over the console and with the bag because that position helps me the most. And I was in so much pain. And so I'm throwing up, you know, and he's like, we're almost home. And I get home, immediately get in the shower because that's just
that's
what
that's it.
That's what I needed. I was like, I need to get in the shower. I need to put the thing on me and I need to relax. And so he got me because we only have a shower. We don't have a tub. So he brought in the cooler for me so that I could sit down in the shower and hunched over and die. And
I can picture it now. You're just like,
and he's like, here you go.
I'm so sorry.
Puts like you know like a hand towel over it, so I'm not just sitting on a cold ass cooler, and also so we can continue to use the cooler. It's not even my cooler.
On the cooler.
I'm pretty sure it's Destiny's cooler. Anyways, she's like, why is the cooler in the shower? Anyways, mind your business. No, I'm kidding. Which is another funny story in itself. And I'm so sorry, this is taking so long.
No,
but it's such a crazy story.
This could be like a whole catch up episode.
It really can because that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, so like, I'm still continuously throwing up. He's trying to give me nausea medicine. I'm taking the nausea medicine and I'm immediately throwing it back up. It's like, it's not taking effect on me. So he gives me pain medicine and it's not doing anything to me. He gave me another pain medicine. It's the same pain medicine, but he gave me another one,
Oh.
and it didn't do anything to me. Like, it hurt so bad, and it was consistent. The
Sushi killed your gallbladder. It was like, no. You're
no,
done.
no, you're done.
So
literally,
fucked up for
it was
laughing
like,
about
you're
it like
done.
that. You're done.
And eventually, after like an hour or two of this, I look at or an hour probably, I look at LJ because, God, it hurt. It had been about 2 or 3 hours at that point, and since we went to my dad's and everything, so I look at him and I go, I need to go to the ER. I need to go to the hospital. It's time. The fact that I've taken nausea medicine and pain medicine and I'm still throwing up and feeling this like more pain, it's just getting worse.
Yeah, it's not helping.
I was like, our little routine
isn't working.
It's not working. It's not cutting it. Okay, we got to go to the hospital. So now the issue is that I live in not a great area. There's like drug use, that kind of thing a lot in the area. And so I went to that hospital right down the road from me.
That hospital.
And because it was like fairly late, it was like probably 10 or 11. They did not treat me well. They were not nice to me. They
never are.
No,
seriously, like even when I had my stroke, like either
you went to that one?
No, but either one of like both of them are kind of like, especially out late at night.
Yeah, like, they think you're a junkie.
Worst, yeah, you get the worst doctors.
Yeah,
late at night.
They did not care about me at all. No. I was also, I do want to say, I was extremely dehydrated because I hadn't stopped throwing up.
Yeah.
Anytime I tried to drink water, it would make it worse. I would just throw it up. It didn't matter. I was so severely dehydrated. You could tell I looked ill.
Yeah.
And I was sweating like I was not.
But they were thinking you were withdrawing.
No. The thing is like I put on there that I partake recreationally because it's something they need to know when because of my instance. If I went in there for a cold, I wouldn't have added it in there. Right. But because of what was going on with me in my gallbladder, I was like,
you only partake in weed.
Exactly.
So exactly. It's not like that.
But that
to me,
made
weed is not
that
a
made
drug.
them look at me crazy, and like. But also the fact that it probably looked like I was going through withdrawals of something.
It does. I mean,
right? Like it didn't look good for me. To be fair, but
I get that they should treat you
exactly. And I do want to say I've never done anything harder than weed. Okay, like. And it's legal in most, like, at least half states, I think. A few states.
It is legal
in quite a few states.
Yeah, like...
So it's fine. It's not a big deal.
I don't think weed is, like, a drug.
It's not. To me, anyways. But I was also... I'm very desensitized to it because I'm from California. My family, you know what I mean?
You grew up...
Right, I grew up around it. It's not a big deal to me. And I waited until I was 18, okay? But the point is, they hated my ass. And... I don't know how to say this other than doggy style position. That's the position that helps me the most when I'm having a gallbladder attack. I don't like when I'm on my I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it other than doggy style, okay?
So that's the way. On your hands and knees. That sounds just as bad.
I literally. So I'm just. It's fine. That's the position that helps me the most. But so we get to the hospital, the ER. I'm hunched over on the reception desk. Like I am hunched. I am fighting for my life. Okay, and I'm in and the guy's asking me questions, before they see you, they have to ask you a fucking bunch of questions. And I'm sitting here trying my best to answer them, but I'm like, it takes so much out of me. I'm so out of it.
I'm in the middle of dying.
Right. Like, I'm sorry. But I did find out I lost 20 pounds when they weighed me, so that was cool. But that was the only good thing to come out of this gallbladder surgery. But anyways, so they take me to a room, right? And then the nurse hated my ass. She hated my ass. she was like asking me questions, and I'm also like, hey, just so y'all know, I don't have insurance. Like, I don't. I'm gonna need help financially. Like, I don't have this.
I don't have it.
And I don't know how many times I had to tell them I didn't have insurance because they're like, your insurance will cover it. Your insurance will cover it. No, it won't.
No, because I don't have any.
And they're like,
which
what?
is so fucked up.
Literally. And she's like, so what's going on with you today? And I'm like, it's my gallbladder. And they're like, I'm not convinced. And she was like, it could be a urinary infection. So they made me do a pee test.
They said, I'm not convinced.
Yeah. She said,
like,
I'm not convinced it's your gallbladder. She was like, what are your symptoms? And I'm literally listing off every single gallbladder symptom that you can fucking have. And I'm like, I've been dealing with this for months. And she's like, did your physician tell you had? Do I look like I have a physician?
Like, I understand
I understand that you have to prove that it's my gallbladder.
Like, no, like, that's the crappy thing about it, is that, like, I had to fight to let them know that I feel like I knew, like, when they finally figured out that I was having a stroke, like, I had to fight for that.
Right.
And I was like, why? Like,
why am I fighting you?
Why am I fighting you?
If you would just listen to me, this would be fine.
Like, this is not normal for me, okay?
Literally.
Like,
and then they're asking me a million questions. I'm looking it over at LJ because I'm so out of it. I don't even know what the fuck you're saying to me at this point. And she's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your 10, 20? It hurts. And I'm like, look, I've been having gallbladder attacks for months now.
Yeah.
It's my gallbladder. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
You can test me to prove it, but that's what's going on.
Do what you have to do.
Literally. But I'm just telling you, it's my gallbladder. And she was like, what makes you think it's your gallbladder? And I was like, I'm not trying to sound snippy, but if you were there, like, I'm dying. And she's like, what makes you think it's your gallbladder? I don't know.
Like, you're about to get mean, Alyssa.
I
I don't normally, like, I can picture right now, like, this is you. I don't normally get mean, but you're about to get it. Like, I am fucking dying right now.
I cannot tell you. I was actually like, no, because, look, this is where she got me, okay? She went out.
Oh my God.
She was like, I'm not convinced. And she went out and she came, because I'm in so much pain, they have to sedate me.
Right.
Somebody sedate me. And so they go to get their IV bags or whatever the fuck. And then during that time, I'm like, I'm going to throw up. LJ immediately pulls the trash can to the side of the bed for me. He was like, I got it. Like, immediately. And I hunch over sideways on the hospital bed, over the hospital bed, doggy style. And I'm throwing up. And I'm so out of it that I'm throwing up on the side of the hospital bed I'm not missing the trash can because it's like slightly under it, but I'm hitting the bed too. Yeah. I can't move over and I'm in so much fucking pain. And then the nurse comes in and she's like, and look, y'all do a hard job. Okay. I get it. But in my case, you could have been a little nicer to me. But anyways, because it was very obvious I was in pain. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. It was, no matter what the fuck was going on with me.
Some nurses don't have the bedside
manner. Yeah. So anyways.
You got to call them out for that shit.
Right. And so she comes in with the nausea medicine and the like IV bag and like all that stuff. And she's like, I need you to get on your back so that I can hook your IV up and everything like that. And I'm in the middle of puking stomach acid, by the way, because there's nothing left in me.
Was she a new nurse?
No. And I say that because of her age. She was like in her 30s or 40s, I don't know. And watch her be like in her anyways, it doesn't matter. Night shift does something to people. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, so
it does.
Anyways, I'm currently vomiting on the bed, in the trash can, all over. I'm like groaning and crying and fucking in pain, throwing up, and you want me to get on my back right now? Give me a minute.
Like, please.
Let this bout of vomiting be done with.
God.
And then I'll get on my back. But no, she couldn't wait. LJ goes, this position helps her the most. And she's like, I understand. Talking to him about me, like, I'm not there. And she goes, I understand, but if she could just get on her back, I can give her the nausea medicine. What good is the nausea medicine going to do while I'm vomiting?
Like, throwing up.
If you could just give me a minute.
Oh my God, Alyssa, if you would have called me and been like, hey, can you come? And the nurse was like that, you know my attitude could never.
Oh my God. And like, what do you want from me? And also, I'm so out of it. It was hard for me to even move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that was hard. And so I finally get on my back, and she hooks me up to the morphine and the IV and everything like that. So, she hooks me up and everything, and she's like, that's when I tell her that it's my gallbladder and everything, and that's when she's like, I'm not convinced. And then she's like, it could be a urine infection, and I'm like this urine infection.
Like, I feel like that wouldn't be going on that long.
Exactly. And also, it wouldn't be like, my attacks wouldn't be correlated with food.
Yeah.
If it was my urine.
Like, did you listen to a single word I said when I came into this ER?
And then so she's like, we need to get a pee test. And I'm like, okay, fine. And so I was so dehydrated though, not to mention out of it. And then the pain also, the morphine helped because she gave me morphine. It helped, but my pain still wasn't gone. It wasn't going away. It was just like lessened.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where, and I was so, like I said, in and out of it. Like, I just can't even explain to you how, like, gone I was throughout this whole thing.
Well, yeah.
People are asking me questions and, like, all this stuff. And so LJ helps me to the bathroom, and he, bless his soul, he literally, so the first time I peed, I barely peed, and I missed the cup because I was so out of it. So that we went back to the bed. I slept for a minute, and then like just a minute, and I got up, and they'd given me fluids at that point. So
it finally was like catching up to your system.
Yeah. So I was able to go again, and he held the cup.
Oh, that's dedication right there. That's dedication.
He was like, "We're not missing it this time."
I got this, girl. I'm gonna help you. Dedication. And dedication.
Literally, he was love. So he brings me back to the room. The doctor comes in, and this is where I have another problem, okay? Because the doctor comes in, and she, like, I don't know if she was a doctor. I think she was. I don't really know for sure because she wasn't the nurse.
Yeah.
She seemed important, so I think she was a doctor. But she didn't look like she didn't have like a white coat or anything. They never do now. But anyways, it wasn't like Grey's Anatomy, guys. So she comes in, and I'm laying on my back, and I'm literally like this, dying, right?
Yeah.
So fucking out of it, dehydrated, all that jazz. And she's like, I have to touch your stomach, and I go, please don't. She's like, I have to, and I was like, okay. And she touches here, fine. She touches here, fine. She touches here, fine. But here is where it hurts the most. Yeah. That's where the gallbladder is, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, please don't. And not only does she touch it, she doesn't touch it like she touches the other spots. She does this. She does like a claw grip into my gallbladder, right? In the spot that hurts. I move her hand. I kid you not. I moved. There was no reason to touch me like that. I'm so sorry. You could like tap me and tell that that's where it hurts. Right, you know what I mean? Like, there was no need for you to claw grip my fucking gallbladder.
I'm seeing it. I'm picturing it now.
I literally went, because it hurts so fucking bad. And she went, don't do that. You don't do that. Excuse me?
Oh, my anger issues could never.
I'm trying to advocate for myself.
Yeah.
So bad. Even LJ was like, that was like rough. She did not need to grab you like that.
Yeah.
In the spot that hurts you the most.
My anger issues could never.
Literally. And so, like, I was like, and this is me advocating. I wasn't rude or anything like that, but I respectfully moved her hand away from me.
Yeah.
And
I mean, rightfully, like, I don't care if you're a doctor and you're checking up on me.
Right.
If my answer is, no, don't touch me like that, don't touch me
literally,
like that.
and I was gonna let you touch me, but you didn't have to fucking claw
Yeah,
grip.
like, you...
Like, that hurt, and I'm already in pain and everything like that, and, like, don't do that. And for you to be like, don't do that. You don't do that.
Did you say something?
No.
Oh,
No,
Alyssa,
I didn't.
Alyssa.
Me saying something was removing her hand from my body.
Alyssa, I would have been like, the minute she said don't do that, I would have been like,
but you gotta think, I was so out of it. Like, I wasn't, that was me advocating for myself. And so, like, then she leaves, whatever, never see her again, by the way. And
well, probably because you hurt her feelings.
I don't know. I don't think I hurt her feelings, but she did not like me.
Ugh.
She did not like me moving her hand. And I wasn't even mean about it. I was just like, you can't do this to me.
You can't do it.
You know, and I'm not being mean to anybody here. I'm not trying to be rude or like, what's the word? Like, not cooperate or anything like that. But I'm doing the best that I can in the condition that I am in.
No one is listening to you.
Right.
They're all looking at you as if you're like a druggie.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you can clearly tell you are not a druggie. Like,
right.
You don't have any needles on your...
I do now.
Well...
them fucking... And they're like... And they can't find the vein because I'm so fucking dehydrated that they're just... doing... Anyways, anywho.
Oh, my God.
Then they have me do a CT scan. That was weird. First of all, I got, like, they were like, you're going to feel really warm. And I did. I felt really warm.
Like, you feel like you peed yourself?
No, my whole body tingled and was warm. Like, it was really weird. I did not care for that. Into your no, it was the CT scan. Like, it was the machine doing it. I don't know. It was the machine. I'm telling you. It was the machine.
Oh, maybe that's a CAT scan where they put the little... Okay,
and I had a CT scan.
Yeah.
And then I go back to the room and I'm falling asleep, waking up, falling asleep, waking up. Then they come in, the nurse comes in and she's like, so we're going to have to get you an ultrasound for your gallbladder. The fuck did I tell you? What did I tell you? It wasn't a urine infection. I'm clean. No, you don't have to. You can be clean and have a urine infection. That's not the point. But, anyways, she was like, so we're going to have to send you to, I'm just going to say Edgewood. Y'all don't know, you don't know what that is and you don't need to. So she was like, I'm going to send you to Edgewood, which is like 10 minutes away. Right. And she was like, because we don't have like an ultrasound tech here or anything like that. And I was like, good, get me out of this fucking hospital. You guys are mean to me. You hate me.
Did you say that?
No.
Oh,
and why would I say that? You know me. You know me. I have to be at my limit for me to like...
That would have been at my limit.
But I was out of it and everything. It just wasn't it for me. So, and then this is where I'm glad like LJ kind of advocated for me because she was like, we're going to go ahead and give you an ambulance transport to Edgewood. And LJ was like, no, I'm driving her. It's 10 minutes away. You're not going to charge her $2,000 for a 10-minute ambulance trip, you know? And she was like, your insurance will cover it. How many times do I have to tell you?
I don't have insurance.
That's a $2,000 10-minute ride for me. I'm good. And then she's like, well, you can take her, but that's going against medical advice. I don't care.
Bitch, at this point, you weren't even listening to the person that was telling you I have issues.
So, sign me the fuck out.
Like,
and
check out.
She was like, yeah, they'll have a room ready for you, and everything. And I was like, fine, get me out of here. So, they do. And LJ, like, he walks me out to the front, but, like, I'm still inside the double doors and everything. And then he goes to get the car pulled around. And I am on my knees gagging. Like, I am still so nauseous and I felt so sick and like still with the pain, like that never went away. And then we get to Edgewood and they're like, who are you? And then we're like, yeah, we have a room. No, I'm kidding. Well, we did, but you know, they were like, LJ was like, oh, Covington. Oh, fuck.
It's
fine. They know where we are.
Yeah, Covington.
Yeah.
They don't know what hospital we're talking about.
Edgewood was immediately so fucking great. They were so nice to me from the jump.
I will say Edgewood, I feel like, are the best out of the
It's
three.
also in a really good area.
Yeah.
So they treated me like an actual human being. That was really nice, and I really appreciate them. They get me up to the room. They hook me up, they give me meds, and then for like the rest of the night, I'm pretty much just waiting for an ultrasound tech to come in, and no one ever does. And which is like my only kind of issue, but you'll see why. They didn't really need to. So, why did you send me here in the first place?
Like, why?
Because it's the surgical, and they were like, this girl needs surgery, but they didn't want to tell me that.
At the same time, I feel like that was probably best anyway, because like I feel like Covington would have been like...
They would have sent me there anyways, because it's not a surgical.
Yeah, it's just an ER.
Right. So I'm waiting all night, and I'm basically just coming in and out of it. Like, I'm falling asleep, waking up, they're checking my vitals, they're giving me meds and shit. And I'm like, water. Please, water. And they're like, no water. And I'm like, please. And then they looked at LJ and they were like, don't give her water. They tried to go into this arm, but I was so dehydrated that my veins were rolling. And so they had to stick it in my hand. Yeah, it was not fun.
Yeah.
Which is why I say now I have a bunch of needle marks. But yeah. Then, but they were a lot nicer to me. Now here's the thing, and I'm gonna let you guys in on something. So remember when I said I was throwing up on the side of the bed at Covington? Mm-hmm. Well, my bladder, I couldn't control it because of how out of it I was. So I ended up peeing myself while I was just a little bit, nothing crazy.
I mean, that's not your fault though.
Right. You can't control your body when shit's going down. So, I did end up peeing myself come super early the next morning when I'm at Edgewood, and I'd been in and out of it and everything like that. The doctor, it's daylight, 7 a.m. probably, daylight, right? Haven't heard about any ultrasound tech or anything. Nobody's come in aside from nurses. And then finally a doctor comes in and he's like, so we're going to have to remove your gallbladder. They were like, we don't need an ultrasound. The CT scan showed it's inflamed. It's really inflamed. I also had a really high white blood cell count, and my heartbeat was slow.
Oh.
So, I was not doing well.
Does not sound like it.
I was not well. They were like, so, yeah. And then he was going through all the stuff. He was like, this is what you need to know for the surgery. This is what I'm going to do. These are the complications that could happen. They're not going to happen to you. He was like, you're 23. You're young. You're healthy. Aside from this, you know what I mean? He was like, that is worst case scenario. That shouldn't happen to you. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Get it out of me. I was like, I don't care. Get it out of me. I don't care. Get it out of me. I don't. Because at this point, the pain has been going on for 10 hours at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or 12. I don't know. Time wasn't real.
Time is a construct.
I didn't care. Yeah. Get it out of me. Also, my room had a bathroom attached to it with a shower and everything. It was really nice. Anyways, so it had a great view of the parking lot. So
great parking lot.
So he's like, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do surgery on you this morning. And I was like, cool with me. So he leaves, and he first of all, I told you it was my gallbladder. Second of all, he leaves, and that's when LJ calls my dad, and he called him earlier when I was at Covington, but my dad was like, unless she's having surgery, I'm not coming down.
Yeah.
because work and stuff. And so when the doctor came in and told me I was having surgery, I gave LJ my phone because I didn't need it. And so he calls my dad and is like, hey, she's having surgery if you want to get down here. And so they're like, I'm on my way immediately. My parents are on their way. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I've been sitting in my own pee for a while now. I'm sick of this. I really want to be clean. I can't do this anymore.
No, I don't blame you.
And I'm like, LJ, you need to help me shower. I don't want to do this. And I asked the nurse, I was like, I need underwear, pants, you know what I mean? I need the whole 9 yards. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And they gave me a whole little hygiene kit with soap and everything. It was like a hotel. It was nice. So anyways.
The least they can do.
Literally, and then charge me $600 for it. So
they would too.
Yeah. So LJ helps me shower, and I get the clothes and everything. And I literally just get my clothes on, and I get out. and a bunch of nurses are coming in, and they're like, "So we're gonna take you to surgery," and I'm like, "Right now?"
Like, I just got out of the shower.
It's been 20 minutes since the doctor told me I was having surgery. Like, right now? My parents aren't here yet. And here's the thing. Do I need my dad there? No. But my dad had a really bad experience with my sister.
Yeah.
And she died before she got to the hospital, but she was at the hospital when she died, or I don't know. It was a whole situation. I don't know. I wasn't there. So it's really, and he no, she died before they could make it to the hospital.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I really wanted him to be there because like it's important for my dad. You know what I mean?
No, I get what
It's more about, like, yeah. He needed to see me before I went into surgery, but he couldn't. So they were like, "We're doing this now. We've been waiting. You've been showering. We got to go." And I was like, "All right." And at this point, I text Destiny. Well, I give LJ my phone, and I'm like, "You need to let Destiny know what's going on," because at this point, like, I haven't been able to text really or anything. And like, LJ's basically had my phone this whole time, and
And by the way, I did not know any of this was going on.
No, apologies.
I didn't find out until like the next day.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna like Destiny. I'm gonna tell you her side of the story in a minute because it's literally hilarious. But we're almost through this.
You okay?
Yeah. So anyway, they literally like they make me take my nose rings out and they wheel me off, and I'm like, "LG, goodbye."
Bye-bye.
And right, and he's like, "I love you. You're gonna be fine." Like, thank God, I'm getting this taken out of me. Whew. So we go, or I go, just me. Nobody went with me. I go to they wheel me to the post or pre-op room before pre-operation, and they were like, "Okay, so we're gonna have you do a pee test so we can make sure you're not pregnant." And I was like, "I'm not pregnant." I was like, "Would you just take my word for it?" And she was like, "No." Okay. Let me try to pee, even though I haven't had water in 2 fucking days. No, I'm kidding. It felt like that. At that point,
it might have
right, right. And you know me, I'm a water glutton. Like I love water. Okay, so that was hard. That was probably the hardest part. So going without water. So, anyways, and I was like, fine. So I went to the bathroom, do my thing, and had a lot better aim control at that point. And then they're like, and then they were like, "You have to take your pants and underwear off." And I was like, when I was in the bathroom, and I didn't believe them, so I didn't. I was like, surely they're not gonna make me go fucking butt ass naked with just the gown on. Like, I can't even have my like, they're hospital grade. You just gave them to me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I didn't. Nobody ever talks about that. How they make you go naked below the waist. Yeah. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, and then so I get out, and they're like, "Your pants and underwear," and I was like, "You were serious?" I was like, "Really?" So they pull the curtain, I take them off, I get into bed, I put the blankets on me because Jesus.
Right. I'm cold.
And then they gave me a warm blanket, like fresh out of the dryer blanket, and it was so nice.
Love that.
So then I'm laying in bed, right? And I got my little hairnet on, right? And I got my little heated blanket. I'm toasty, right? But I'm still feeling the pain. So I'm like, "Oh, let's go." And so the anesthesiologist comes up to me, and he's like just hovering over me, right? And he's like, "Hey." And he's so happy. He's like, "Hey, so we're going to get this done for you. Yeah, it's going to be great. You're going to have such a good time." And he was like, he's like explaining anesthesia to me. And I'm like, "I've seen Grey's Anatomy."
I've seen it before.
I don't care. Do your thing. Like, it's all white noise to me at this point. Yeah. I'm like, I'm here.
I would be a nervous wreck.
And so,
surgery makes me nervous.
I was like, "Let's go. Let's do this." So then he's like, "Okay, we're going to be fine." And so he like puts the mask on me, like the breathing mask. I didn't even count down. The mask went on me. I closed my eyes and I woke up post-op.
I'm awake.
When I woke up, so it was actually funny. So I wake up post-op, right? And all I can see is like a bunch of nurses running around and like a clock that said like 11 a.m. Okay. I'm like, you know those movies where they're like, like they get sedated or something,
Mhm.
and then they close their eyes and they open their eyes and they're somewhere else, and then they fall
Yeah.
back asleep and then they open their eyes and they're somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was literally what was happening to me. So I like open my eyes and it's like I see the nurses and I see the clock and the clock says 11 a.m. and I close my eyes and then I open my eyes and I see the nurses and everything and then I see the clock and it's 11:15 a.m. and then I close my eyes. You know what I mean? And then around like 11:30, I finally like woke up and she was like, everything went so well. Oh my God. And she was like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm so good. Thank you. Because the pain was gone.
Yeah.
There was no more pain. It was gone. It was taken out of me. I was like, whew.
Thank
And
God.
I was coming off some good stuff. So like some grade A, you know, USDA approved. And like the first thought that came to my mind was it's gone. Like the pain is gone.
Yeah.
Not that my gallbladder's gone,
Yeah.
but the pain finally stopped because up until this point, my gallbladder attack was still happening.
Yeah.
And so, and then like I
Did you get to see it?
no,
Ah.
I didn't really want to. To be honest, I don't care.
Ah.
So I go up. They take me up to the room. My parents are there. My dad is like, I gotta like take some pictures of you or like video of you because you're fucking high right now off of medical grade anesthesia. And I'm like, you know what I mean? And so he like took a video of me because I was so out of it. He was like, this is hilarious. And he was like, I'm so glad you're good, you know, all that stuff. No, he was really great and supportive, and my mom was there, and it was really sweet. She was on her way to work too. And yeah, it was really sweet. And then because my my white blood cell count was still high, they kept me there overnight to like the rest of the day and overnight
to make sure everything was
yeah
good.
And so by the next morning my white blood cell count was back to normal, everything was back to normal, I was good. And so they give me medicine, they give me a doctor's note, they like don't go to work for 2 weeks. I'm like, you don't have to tell me. So because it was the next morning, it was into Wednesday, LJ had to go home. And so Destiny came to pick me up, and this was the first time Destiny has seen me since the fiasco. And yeah, and she brought me a big ass smart water, which is my favorite water if you don't know. And she was like, I feel like you need this. And I was like, you don't know how much I needed it.
Needed so bad.
I needed it. Oh my God, but I had pot roast the night before after my surgery. They were like, you can eat and drink now, and I sucked up that little cup. I was like, more, another. and I got pot roast, and it was so good. I hadn't been able to eat anything, and pot roast. Oh my God, it was so fucking good.
Just like, I can eat
I was like, I can eat now, yay! And LJ's like helping me shower and everything, and like, yeah, and he's like, he was great. He was godsend. So anyway, uh, Wednesday morning rolls around. I've now been here for 2 days between two different hospitals, and they're checking my vitals thoroughly and stuff like that. Everything's going good. Destiny comes in. She brings me water. She brings me like strawberries and apple slices and like, you know, she's like, I got you, girl. I got you. She was like, I would have brought you coffee, but I didn't know if you were allowed to have coffee, and I didn't want to get yelled at by the doctor. And then the nurse comes in and she's like, can I get her coffee? And she's like, you should, like, she needs it. She was like, I would be caffeinated.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't have caffeine with my gallbladder,
Yeah.
so she didn't know if I could post-op like this soon. And she was like, you can have caffeine, you just be on a low-fat diet essentially,
Yeah.
but you can have
it
a lot of the things you couldn't have before.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, low-fat diet still opens me up to a big world of food that I couldn't have before. So, and then they're like 7 o'clock rolls around, 8 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, what the fuck is taking so long? And so my dad, he texts me and he's like, are you still there? And I was like, yeah, I'm still here. He goes, and he calls the hospital. He calls my nurse and he goes, why is she still there? This is an outpatient surgery. Like, why is she still there? I understand like overnight because my white blood cell count was, but we're rolling into 8-9 o'clock. Like, let's go. You know what I mean?
Night?
In the morning.
Oh, okay.
The next morning. So
gotcha.
like a full 24 hours after my surgery.
Yeah.
And she's like, we're just waiting on the doctor. We've been waiting on the doctor for 24 hours, by the way, to come in and like tell her. And he's like, you need to get the doctor in there then. Like, stop wasting her time, stop wasting her money, because every minute she's there, she's getting further into debt.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's like,
like adding up, which is ridiculous.
He wasn't rude or anything, but he was like, I know what you guys are doing. You're
Right.
holding her over. She doesn't need to be there still.
Yeah.
Send her home. She's good. Get her out of there, which I really needed that advocate. That was really nice of him.
I love that.
And me too. And I thought it was funny because he texted me. He was like, "You still there?" And I was like, "Yeah." And the next thing I know, he's calling me and he's like, "So I just told your nurse that they need to get the doctor in there." And I'm like, "Okay." And then not the doctor, but the attending comes in to explain, like, he was like, to check up on me essentially, and to like, so that he can let me go. And he came in and he was like, "Okay, are you ready?"
Are you ready to go?
Like, I don't know what my dad did, but he worked some magic, because like 15 minutes later, the doctor's like, "Okay, so we're gonna get you out of here." Got my medication and everything, my pain meds. LJ also made sure that they added on a nausea medicine for me, like a really good one, which was only $17 altogether.
That's not bad.
For like 3 different medicines.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, cool. So we leave. Destiny takes me to Seven Brew to get some coffee, and immediately, and I'm like, thank God. And then we go to Kroger for sushi. And Destiny got sushi.
Did you not learn your lesson?
No more go
Your
bladder.
sushi
No
was
more
the
problem.
one that caused it.
I had like 2 little bites of that fucking sushi because I was eating like a bird after surgery. You know what I mean? Like, I was still, the thing is that post surgery, I was still traumatized.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, eating was very scary for me. It was like I was a newborn. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like that. I'm trying new things.
Right,
like, yeah.
right. So not only am I trying new things, but I'm also like scared that it's gonna hurt me. You know,
Yeah.
because of months and months of food hurting me. So, you know, so it just took me a while to be able to get back into like an eating routine and to feel comfortable eating again. And so, you know, that took a while. But then, you know, I rested up for 2 weeks. My incisions, it was honestly great. Like, I got 2 weeks off to lay in bed and sit there and catch up on my shows. And I mean, it was hard getting up and down and bending and stuff. But I took it easy. Like, I wasn't trying to prolong this.
Right. Any more than it
Right.
needed to.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like, Destiny was taking care of me. She was like, "I gotta be here for Alyssa." You know what I mean? Which I thought was really sweet. And then, so like, when LJ wasn't there, Destiny was there taking care of me. And
love that.
yeah. And so they both were just like,
I definitely would have visited, but like summer vacation started.
Mhm.
I didn't want to overwhelm you with the kids.
"No, that's
I was
fine."
I was like, this girl, like the kids are gonna be wanting to be all over her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm so sorry, but I can't come for the podcast." And I was like,
I
"Girl,
literally have a
like,
doctor's note.
chill out.
I wasn't even allowed to drive for a week. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I was
Well, and when the second week came around, I was like, I'll just ask, like, because
Yeah.
you weren't, like, I wasn't sure, but like, if you obviously you weren't ready.
I was definitely feeling better, but I didn't want to like yeah.
And my kids are a lot, we know.
But I'm here. I'm back.
Yes.
So let me tell you Destiny's side of the story.
Okay. All right. Destiny.
So Destiny gets home from work that night, and I had just gone to the ER, and I haven't had a chance to text her because I'm dying, right?
Yeah.
And and she texts me, and she goes, "Are you at the hospital?" Because she has my location. Like, a little bit after, like, she gets home, she texts me and she goes, "Are you at the hospital?" And this was one of the times I had my phone, but I was so out of it. I'm not giving you long responses. I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't really think right now. So all I do is say yes. And then I give LJ my phone, so she doesn't hear from me again after that because I was so out of it. And she's like, "It's not your fault," but like, "Oh my God, I thought you were dying."
I mean, you
I
were.
was. But she basically came home to a murder scene.
Oh.
Like, she gets home. The cooler is in the bathtub, is in the shower.
Yes.
There's a camping chair because LJ was like, the cooler isn't cutting it. So he got a camping chair from downstairs and he brought it up into the bathroom. And I went, "No, take me to the hospital." I was like, if you have to get a camping chair so that I'm more comfortable in the shower while I'm dying, take me to the hospital.
time.
So there's a camping chair in the bathroom. There's a cooler in the shower. Her cooler, by the way.
I didn't think about like
Destiny's point of view.
So funny.
She literally, and then she like, I don't know if there was probably throw up too. Like,
so
honestly.
now she's like, LJ murdered my best friend. Like,
and then she sees my location because she goes into my room and she sees like a towel, like strewn on the bed, everything, and she's like, "What the fuck happened here?" And she checks my location. And she sees I'm at the hospital, and so she texts me and she's like, "Are you at the hospital right now?" And I was like, "Yes." And then that's the last she hears from me. And then because I'm gone.
You guys are performing. What is it called in the bathroom? When they take your organs. Like you're doing like
like when they're like taking your kidney and shit.
Yeah, like you guys are performing like botch surgery. Yeah, in the bathroom.
No. So so she's like freaking out, and I'm over here in the hospital, and then like the next day, she assumed it had something to do with my gallbladder. So then the next day, when they tell me I have to get surgery, and they're wheeling me out, I give LJ my phone and I'm like, quick, tell Destiny what's going on. Make sure you tell her what's going on.
Yeah.
And all he does is go, hey, she's going into surgery. and then when my dad gets to the hospital, he calls Destiny, right? Leaves a voicemail and goes, hey, it's Zach. You need to call back ASAP.
She's going in surgery. Call back ASAP. She's like, what the
fuck is going on right now? And
okay, I like that reminds me of the time that I had my stroke, and Chris calls Destiny, and poor Destiny's like trying to call him back.
Yeah.
And he's talking to the ambulance people, and Destiny's like, Is he dying? Like
what's going on?
Is happening? Like poor Destiny. She like
literally. She's like, what the fuck is going on?
She comes home to emergency.
Oh my god. She was like, this bitch is dying. She couldn't even tell me. I did all I could.
You got a yes from me.
It was everybody else that fucked up here.
Epic fail.
Yeah, because like the heat was turned all the way up because I was freezing, and she texted me first to be like, "Why the fuck is it so hot in this house?" And then she was like, "Wait, are you in the hospital?"
Nice. Wait, what?
Like she was just trying to yell at me about turning the heat on, but I had to. I'm sorry. Sorry, girl. I had to. So, I was so cold.
Poor girl. Oh.
Yeah. Oh. And because we left the house so quick, like I didn't turn it, like we didn't think to turn it off or anything.
Right. Well, yeah.
Right.
Your brain is like, I'm dying.
So that's my gallbladder story.
God. You poor thing. Yeah, and then I get a picture. I had surgery, and I was like, the fuck?
Like, it's gone.
It's gone. Well, I knew, because my mom, she had gallbladder surgery too. She got hers removed. You were showing a lot of the same symptoms.
Yeah.
And then, like, towards the end, like, my mom really couldn't eat anything either.
Right.
So, like, that day, I was just like, she doesn't seem well. Like, you seemed like you were just like, I'm dying. And then when you told me that you couldn't, I was like, it's slowly progressing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this girl's going to have it. Something's going to happen. And so she had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It had to do it.
It had to happen. And I feel so much better.
Oh, yeah. You look so much better.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. You're thriving.
I have light in my life.
You can eat. You can drink coffee now. Like, no issue.
I'm living. Like, I'm reintegrating, like, food again.
Yeah.
So like certain foods don't hit me well, but it's better than 5 hours of abdominal pain.
Yeah.
So not my problem. I'm basically like lactose intolerant now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the gallbladder does so much.
Dairy has fattened it.
Yeah. It does so much.
Yeah.
It's amazing, like, the things that could cause so much issues what they actually do for your body.
Right.
But you don't have to live with it.
It breaks down fatty foods. So when I eat fatty foods like dairy or something like that, it has a hard time breaking it down, which is why people like post like surgery have like diarrhea problems and stuff like that.
Poor thing.
Thank you. But
Thank
it's
you.
gone now.
It's
And
gone
I'm sitting
now.
here and I was at work and because I went back to one job, you know, the one that
Yeah.
I didn't have to do anything for.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to like lift anything. So I went to that one last weekend. I was telling somebody about like the fact that I had
The
gallbladder surgery.
Dramatic experience
And
that you had.
they were like, why do you seem so happy telling me this story? And I'm like, yeah, I just had gallbladder surgery.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like,
The pain that you were in.
the trauma that I was in, like,
Yeah.
or that I had from like not being able, like being scared to eat. Like, nobody should be scared to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For fear of like 5 hour
Pain, yeah.
you know? And I was like, I don't think you understand what this did for me. Like,
Yeah,
it had
like
to happen.
it had to happen. Which I'm glad it did.
Yeah.
I am so glad that you were able to get it like handled.
Yeah, and
And
Edgewood was so nice.
Yeah.
Love Edgewood.
I feel like when my great grandmother went into the hospital, I really feel like Edgewood was the best out of them all.
Yeah. So my dad had it in the Florence one.
location were they kind of assholes?
They weren't, but I didn't like them.
I feel like
because I was there, but
yeah, I feel like the Florence location, like it's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll get really nice doctors.
I think you know my dad had a good experience, which is good, but like I didn't really care for him.
Covington, I just didn't like altogether. Like
No.
I like every time I went
understand the shit that they must deal with, but like you can't treat every
everybody
patient like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like that, but I also have like a weird experience there too because like I had a primary doctor that was there that literally like treated me like I was the symptom. Like I was so I'm in recovery, obviously. I've talked about that.
Right.
But like every time I went to him, he always treated me like
an alcoholic
or like I was on drugs. Like something was going on. And like so I have seizure issues and my brother had the same thing. And my brother, come to find out, he had a rare genetic disorder. And then we're thinking, because it was hard to find out, like he went through a whole long process to figure it all out. We're thinking I had the same issue that he did, but it just kind of cleared its way. I mean, I have Tourette's and other issues now, but like I just felt like that every single time that something happened with me, they treated me like it was
I would definitely not be going back there.
Yeah,
I will drive that extra 10 minutes to Edgewood every time.
Yeah.
Because the experiences were just night and day.
Yeah.
Like,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like I get it. Like you said, like imagine everybody that they deal with, fine dandy, but you also like you're sitting there explaining to them like I'm having this issue.
I don't understand how you could look at someone who's obviously in real raw physical pain
and you're throwing up at the side of the bed
and then treating them like I don't know, just not like a human. And then, I don't know.
Like I don't care how out of how I am, but my anger issues I would have been sitting there watching that whole thing, and I would have been like,
"Are you fucking kidding me?"
I would have been like pointing at the nurse, like, no, because I'm not afraid. Like when I got really sick, and I went to the when I was like severely dehydrated, and I had that like issue. There was a woman next door with her kids, and her kids were just screaming, and like. I started screaming. Yeah. And it was like, it's so rude when there's other people in the hospital that are having issues and your kid can't be quiet. And Chris is like, babe. And I'm like, no, it's rude. Like, she's not the only one in the hospital. Like, I feel like there's a way that, like, you can
I think hospitals should have, like, daycares.
Yeah. If you're in there, like, they should. Your kid, I mean, you pay an arm and a leg just to go to the hospital anyway.
For some Tylenol. Like.
Yeah, so you might as well just do it. And, like, I remember there was one time that I went to the hospital and, like, I told them, like, I don't want any pain meds. I'm here because my shoulder, like I dislocated my shoulder again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I know I'm having issues with it. And she kept looking at me like, I was like, I'm in pain. I just want you to figure it out on like what's going on. And if you need to pop it back into place, pop it back into place.
Right.
I'm not here for the pain meds.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, you can take them here. And I was like, I don't want them. Like, I'm in
Right.
recovery. Like, I do not want them.
Right.
And my grandma, like, they were like, you can take it. You're here in the hospital. And I took it. My grandma was livid. When she found out that they gave me pain meds, she was livid.
Wow.
Because I came home high as a kite. Like, I was
Right.
just high.
They're really not. They don't take that stuff seriously.
They don't.
Like they're like, oh, you're in recovery. Well, it's fine.
It's just like yeah.
It's not because it's a mental
Yeah. Like,
thing. You know,
it's hard.
it
Because,
is.
like, one sip of a drink can cause so much. It did.
Yeah.
Like, I
so
had
much like
one sip of wine when the last time 7 years ago when I relapsed, I had one sip of wine and it was all downhill. Like, it sent me in a downward spiral.
Exactly, and that's what it does.
And it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I just feel like you were mistreated.
I was.
And the fact that like if she would have grabbed you like the way that you did and you moved her hand and she said don't do that, I would have been like, you can tell she's physically in pain.
Right.
So that should be enough for you to be like,
maybe not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Gorilla
like,
grip that motherfucker.
I'm sorry. Because like it just hearing your story, like it's funny right this 2nd, but it's also irritating.
Yeah, I was definitely not happy.
Yeah,
and I mean,
with
obviously,
you.
like I'm still talking about it. I'm still
Yeah.
raging.
Like I'm raging for you. Like my whole anger issue just.
It was stressful.
Man, yeah. No, I bet. It sounded stressful. So, do you want to take a break and then I can kind of catch you up on what I've been up to?
Let's just go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I got like T-minus 6 hours or T-minus
oh, yeah,
5.5 hours.
Because you got to work.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, clearly, I got a new tattoo.
Yay!
And I'm about to go get another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm finally getting my Death Note one.
Cool.
Of Ryuk. Yeah, I'm finally getting it. So I want to get it on my leg. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I have this bald spot.
You do.
Like, right
I was just
arm.
thinking that. I was like, you have so much arm space.
Chris is like, shouldn't you just get it on your arm? And I was like, now I'm like, you know what? I think I will. And I'll just get something else as my first leg tattoo. Like,
yeah.
I've been wanting this tattoo like for so long that I finally found somebody that is like reasonably priced. Obviously, like I know there's risk because she's in training. Like she's a thing. But I'm like, I'll be your test subject. Like, fuck it. Like, I don't care. Like, give you more practice. I get a decent price. Like, I'm not too picky. I have a tattoo on my arm that I'm like,
it's the wrong color.
Yeah. Like, wrong fucking color.
It doesn't matter.
Still bugs me to this day. Even though I can't see it, everybody else can. So it's like, it bugs me. But, so I can't. I get that on the 20th. I'm so excited. I'm like, finally, I get this tattoo. And I came home from getting this one, and Chris is like, so I'm smiling, and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Don't be mad at me." And he's like, "You're going to go get another one, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah, but she's cheap."
Hell yeah!
And he's like, "Okay." He's like, when is it? And I was like, the 20th of this month. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This month. It was the first time. So, and then obviously the kids are on summer vacation now, which I'm like dying inside. Because like they have been driving me nuts. Leo's been 2 days out of his medication. And before he ran out, we messaged the doctor. So we get 2 refills. And then after that, he has to have a doctor's visit. I get the doctor's visit. And if we up it, that's fine.
But he shouldn't go cold turkey on his fucking medication.
Cold turkey because you guys bitch and bitch and bitch that it's a narcotic. And you guys are like, oh, yeah, he needs to be really careful on it. We message you and say he's out of his medication. Give him a supply. And then have the doctor's appointment. And then if we do decide to up it the next dose.
Right.
Like, It doesn't have to be right this second.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, now
And that
he's
shit
going to
is
go
so
through.
dangerous too.
Yeah, now he's going to go through the withdrawal period.
They do it with diabetics too. Diabetic medication.
It's so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I get it if you need to visit with him after
That's
the
not the
third time.
problem.
That's not the problem.
Yeah.
My problem is this is a narcotic. You're telling my son that he can't get it until he has a doctor's appointment. What? Like, you can't give him, like, maybe a 5-day supply until that doctor's appointment?
Yeah.
Thank God he has one tomorrow. And thank God it's only virtual, which I think is so stupid because I'm like, now I can go on virtual.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see him. They have to physically see him. I can't just go. They have to physically look at him. He has to be on the screen with me. And I'm like, this is so stupid. So I'm like, ugh. So he's been driving me nuts because, like, when my son is off his medication, he's already touchy when he's on his medication. Oh my God. And for somebody that doesn't like to be touched, I talk about it all the time. It's like times 20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh. So I'm like physically dying inside. And then yesterday we went to Kroger and we're in Kroger and he's just touching everything.
Ugh.
Everything. And I'm like, dude, stop touching. He's like walking down the aisles, just touching.
You need to give him like something to pay attention to.
I tried.
Like to distract him.
Yeah. And then like, so I'm like, then his sister, so then it makes it 10 times worse. Because then his sister's wanting to play Don't Touch the Cracks. And she's like hopping. And so then Leo's like laughing at her because she's like hopping.
Yeah.
And then he's like, let me do it. So then he's hopping. So then you got her and then him like extra. Like just hopping down the aisle. And I'm like, oh my God. So like Chris is just trying to shop, get everything. And I'm just over there like I'm dying inside. And then Leo will come over and he'll touch my arm. And he'll be like, love me. And I'm like, don't touch me. Like, I've been touched out.
Love you, mean it.
Yeah, like, oh,
like me with the doctor.
Yeah.
Pulls the hand away.
Like, I'm such an asshole sometimes. Like, I am. So yesterday I was doing some clips because I had to wait for the thing to come through to get extra credit to be able to post clips from the episode Chris did.
Right.
And,
I was wondering why that took so long.
because I had to wait for the credits. I was like, man. So I literally have 30 videos that I just like sent to myself. So if I need to post, I can. I might do a mixture of this and then ours, like me and Chris's. But Mackenzie came down and she's like telling me these things that she did for Georgia. And I'm trying to like edit video and I'm like, this is my workspace. Like I'm trying to like focus.
Yeah.
And I turn around and I go, I just want to let you know I was not listening to what you said. And to be honest with you, I was like, right now, I really don't care what happened. I was like, you have another dad that you can go talk to. I'm trying to work right now. And she looks at me and she goes, okay. And she walked out. So I went up to her and I was like, Mackenzie, I was like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I was like, but you know when I'm in the studio, I just want to be alone.
Right.
Like 5 seconds to myself. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but my God, like she can rant. Like when she gets on a rant, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. So I'm just like, you have to, I have ADHD too. I have to focus. And when she talks, I really have to focus. Because sometimes when she's ranting, I'm trying to process what it is that she's saying. So I'm like, girl, like, I can't deal with this right now. So then, anyway, so we had a lot of family stuff to do too. Like, we did a lot of family stuff. We finally got to go to the aquarium.
Oh.
Finally, we have aquarium passes. Finally got to go. I was still upset about the last time, but finally got to go. It was still an experience that I got to have with my kids.
Aww.
I was so excited because I love aquatic animals.
Get out of my face, Tyler.
I love water. I don't like big deep ocean. Big deep ocean, no, because like some things are scary in the ocean. Some things are just too much. But I kept going, what if I dived into the water? Like go swimming and like there was mermaids there too. Mermaids just swimming.
I have a phasalophobia, so it's a no from me, dog.
I think you would enjoy it. Do you like the aquarium?
I don't like zoos or aquariums or amusement parks.
I don't like them. They're
I
not
don't
fun.
like them. Oh, I don't actually know the parameters, so this might actually be very boring. But I have a softball game at where I work coming up
Oh
on
yeah,
Wednesday.
on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Next Wednesday. I don't know what I'm doing in it or if I'm even gonna participate.
You're like,
I signed up like my first day there before my gallbladder surgery.
oh,
And so I don't know, maybe I could pitch. Like
maybe.
I don't know. I used to play softball with
That's
my
funny.
sister, so we'll see.
Oh, I love that. It sounds fun.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell me where it's at.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I'll figure it out later.
I don't know anything. So, but you can invite people. So.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if you want to take the kids to Kings Island, they're doing like a $40 like picnic day
Oh,
where
are
like
they?
all the drinks and food are free
Oh.
and stuff. It's through my company though, where I work, but you can invite
Oh.
anybody.
What date?
It's the 18th, I believe.
Of this month?
Mhm.
Yeah, let us know.
I'll send you a picture of it.
Okay. Are you gonna come?
I have a
I know
flyer.
you hate
I'm gonna
amusement
try.
parks, but I think it'd be fun.
I'm gonna try because I kind of want to like get my name
Out
out there in the
I
company.
I think it would be fun and also like maybe a good time.
I don't know how the ride situation works, but at the very least, you get free food and drinks.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they would make you pay $40 if you can't ride any rides.
Yeah, that'd be
So that
stupid.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I
But
mean
yeah,
that's pretty cheap.
I'll send you the picture.
Okay, yeah, deal. So we went to the aquarium. There was an octopus there, but it wasn't in its usual tank. It was a bigger.
It probably climbed out.
It was done. You were like, man. No, I just love like the little bit of like there was a huge sea turtle there. Those things are freaking huge. It's fascinating seeing the creatures.
Yeah.
And obviously there's no great whites because there's no great whites in captivity. But just seeing them and just like kind of like going into it's just an experience. I haven't done it since I was a child. Like I can't remember the last time.
And
I
it's
went to
different when you're bringing your children too, because it's a whole different experience.
And you get to see the excitement of it. I love the excitement.
Yeah.
And then you got to pet some of the sharks.
Mhm.
Like I just love doing that. It's stingrays, not sharks. I think there was like a.
Why would they let you pet a stingray? They sting.
You just got to be careful. They're so cute.
No.
Oh,
No.
and there was slimy. And then there was one that was like really hard to the touch. Like it was like a little shark thingy, and it felt like a rock. Like you would think it was slimy, but then when you pet it, it was like really hard, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then
I have to go. No, I don't like
it just
fishies.
Was like,
I don't mind looking at them, but like if they're in the ocean, I can't deal.
Yeah.
The thing with aquariums and zoos and amusement parks is it's fun the first time, maybe even the second time, but I'm pretty much over it at that point. And I've been already like multiple times. It'll be different like if I have kids and stuff with me, but like it just wasn't it for me. It's not it for me like right now.
Right.
Anyway.
It definitely is one of those that you can do a little bit, and it's something to do outside or like something to do real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We have season passes, so if we're just like bored and we want to do something, like it's something to do really quick. Their prices went up like fucking crazy though. Like we went and bought this drink, like 3 drinks, and I think that was pretty much all we bought. That was the only thing we bought, and there were little souvenir cups. I'll have to show you. They're little souvenir cups. It cost almost like $40 freaking for them. Like,
yeah, they're expensive
for 3. Like, I was like, geez, but it definitely was a fun experience overall. Like, I had really good time, like spending time with family. I think that was like our main thing. Is like it was like back to back spending time with family. My aunts, uncles came into town. Like, there was just a whole lot of like spending with family, and I love spending time with family, so that was like something good for me. And there was a lot more that I feel like I wanted to tell you, and I just can't think of it at the top of my head. that I
Well,
wanted
we
to
always
tell
got
you.
until
I
next
know.
week because
We're
I'll be
gonna go
back.
next week. She
I bet y'all
will.
thought I was gone. I bet y'all thought I was dead.
No, I do. I like. It was kind of weird, like trying to get into the groove. I was so proud of Leo.
He
And
did a great job.
Yeah, I talked about it on the last
Yeah.
episode too with Chris, but I was so proud of him. We did have to do another take. So at first we started, and I think he was so nervous
Aww.
that the flow was so off, and I went and stopped it to get into the intro.
Yeah.
And we stopped it, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and we were like, "Can we restart that?"
Aww.
And I was like, "Yeah, we can restart that." And we restarted it, and after we restarted it, it was just like a whole
sometimes it's all it takes.
flow.
Yeah.
And it was so good. I was so proud of him.
It was.
I was just like, dude.
He did a great job. He's better than me.
He'll get there. No, like I was really impressed with his episode.
Me too.
Like he felt so knowledgeable when he was talking about things, and I was just like,
were the other kids jealous?
Mackenzie really wants to be on the show.
Yeah, you should have her on the show.
She really, really wants to be on the show. I have to really figure out an episode for her because I feel like she needs something that her and I can follow along with. Chris, I might do the same. I don't want to do the same thing that I did with Leo because I did Would You Rather questions. Chris, I asked him a couple questions. I don't know what to do with hers, which could be questions, but I want to do it like, what type of questions should I ask her?
Right.
That's my hardest thing.
You'll figure it out
with her. So, and then my grandma wants to be on an episode.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna add this story in. So, my dad, my dad. That is why he called me, by the way. My dad does pest control, and he goes up into the Covington area a lot where I live. But fun fact, Tyler's grandma. Oh, hey, girl. Hey. She also lives in the same area as I do. So so my dad comes up and does jobs a lot in that area. And the second that Tyler texted me and was like, your dad met my grandma, I was like, it had to have been through the pest control thing. I was like, oh, did he come spray and because that's how else would they run into each other? You know what I mean? Plus he does jobs in the area. So I was like, oh, that makes sense, the tracks. And I know how Covington. You need that.
Yeah.
I have him come in and spray my place outside and inside every month.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so and apparently, because my dad was telling me about it, and he was like, yeah, she was like, are you Alyssa's dad? And he was like, yeah, who are you? I am.
This weird woman.
I am Alyssa's dad. Who are you? And she was like, oh, she helps Tyler with the podcast and everything like that. And she was like, I think that she was like, I want them to clean it up a bit. And then I was like, oh, like the studio? Like, is the studio dirty? And he was like, I think she meant your language.
Yes.
And I was
always telling me about the language.
And I was like, oh, that's never gonna change. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not.
But it was hilarious.
Sorry, Grandma.
It was hilarious. And even my dad, he thought it was so funny because where do you think I get this language from?
So it's funny because I did not use one single bad word on Leo's episode.
Love.
And my grandma was like, that was the first thing I was gonna say to you. And I was
well,
like,
it's with Leo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, fuck that, fuck this. You're dumbass. Like, no. But obviously I know where to kind of doll it down at. But at the same time, she knows I have a foul mouth.
Same.
So,
she knows I do.
I know.
But that's so funny because my dad doesn't care.
Yeah,
he doesn't care if I cuss.
Whatever. But yeah, no. So yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. She was like, "You won't believe who I met."
It's crazy to me because I don't know if she's ever even seen a picture of him. Like, how did she know that it was him?
I don't know.
Because I've talked about him
I meant to ask her that, and I
But
forgot.
like, I don't know if like maybe she's seen my Facebook and like she's seen pictures of him.
Maybe that's
you know what I
it.
mean? Like
Maybe.
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah. I mean, she. You're friends with her on Facebook, aren't you?
I don't know.
But I think she's friends with us on the.
She is, but my dad's never been posted on our page.
Yeah, but you're. I think she's friends with you on Facebook.
I don't know.
I had to look.
Anyways.
Anyway, but she said she recognized his face and his name.
Well, yeah, Zachary.
Yeah. So like she recognized the name.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I guess, like the face and the name
that killed me. I was like, how did you know? And then like the fact that my dad was like, I am. Who are you?
Well, yeah, some strange lady is like asking.
Is this your daughter? Like, I am her dad. What'd she do?
Like, what's happening? Yeah, so I
definitely a small world.
It is a small world, and I think it's kind of funny. I just wonder how many times she's actually like gotten service from him, and not
I assume this is the first time.
Maybe.
You know,
I don't know, because like my grandma.
He started this job pretty recently.
Okay, so then this probably
like within the last year.
Okay, yeah, but she also has been using it for a long time.
Maybe she's gotten other guys though.
Maybe, and that's possible.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I thought it was
funny,
very funny, and I was just like, well, when she said that, you won't believe who I met, and I'm like,
who? And my dad's like, oh my god.
Which, so I will say that it is kind of sad that she's back, but we're getting towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Of our podcast.
We are.
We do have a lot of things planned that we need to. We have a lot of things that are coming.
We got to figure out the logistics.
Yeah, the logistics.
We're going to do the same thing we always do, take a break after our season for probably a month.
Yeah.
Get our ducks in a row and then come back for season 4.
Yeah, which I'm like super excited.
Yeah.
But we have some event things planned.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some. Mm-hmm. We're in talks about doing something. We're not going to say it yet unless Alyssa wants to.
I think we have already.
Have we?
I think so.
Okay, which I will check that out. But we got some things coming in the works that we're kind of working out logistics of a lot of different things. So we're kind of really excited. Also, I want to welcome some new followers because I've seen that we've got some new followers.
We do?
Yeah.
Guys, you shouldn't.
Not only on here, but we also got YouTube. Couple new followers on YouTube. Yeah.
And I know TikTok we've been popping a little bit.
TikTok we're popping a little bit. But we're kind of working our way in.
That's
and Clapper,
amazing.
We're at 200 people. So the people on Clapper, if you want to come follow our show, check us out for full episodes. Come this way.
And they're free.
Yeah,
why not?
They're free.
We're literally just shit talking. And you know what? So like our whole vibe and what we want to portray is that you're in the room with us.
Yes.
We're literally just talking with you guys.
Yes.
Like in the room with us. We're just letting you guys know what's been going on. And I know this episode was like a catch-up episode, but come on, I've been gone for 3 weeks.
Right.
So like,
and I know we were supposed to do part 2, but
I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to like talk about my experience because it was an experience.
It was an experience.
And plus we haven't even seen each other in 3 weeks. So, it was due.
It was due. I miss it. And so we will do a part 2 of our last episode, which really should just be a part 1. Because like
we never really got into it because we went into other things.
So
yeah.
So do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. So until next time.
Bye.
Bye.